In this video, we're going to talk about making your videos more interesting, because there is a couple of super simple things that you can do that will help you to like get a better pacing in your videos, make them feel more professional, and you know, overall up your quality of your videos. So I'm just gonna have a cup of coffee and we are ready to go. Video editing is by far one of the things that I think is the most fun part when it comes to like creating videos. And it's also one of the most defining things of how your videos is going to look and what kind of like style you have on your videos and how you want your videos to come across. So when it comes to like creating YouTube videos, one of the things that I'm constantly struggling with is that a lot of you that are watching my videos don't watch the video all the way through, because you basically watch the beginning of the video and then you like successfully, I can't say successfully, but like what do you call it, like during the video you basically drop off. But I know that some of you are watching like all the videos all the way through, and I'm super grateful for it, because I mean, like, you guys are the best. So one of the things that I've noticed helps a whole lot to keep the engagement and retention of the viewer when it comes to both like my client videos and my YouTube videos is that you want to have shorter cuts. So looking at the cuts for this video, you can see all the different cuts that I've done to the main storyline right here. And the reason that I have so many cuts into this video is not only because I'm saying the wrong things a whole lot of times, but it's also because I want to keep the retention as high as possible when you're watching my videos. And that's also why I'm using like the crop in, crop out function when I'm doing these talking head videos, because it's actually proven that it helps to keep the audience retention when something is happening in the video. The second thing that I want to talk about in this video is gonna be jump cuts. Say for example that I'm gonna go and grab a cup of coffee and have that in a vlog. Then if I were to show you like the whole process of me grabbing the cup of coffee, going over to the coffee machine, refilling the water in the coffee machine, and you know, you get the point, that would be like a super long take that you probably wouldn't enjoy watching, and it wouldn't add to the whole video, and it would definitely like kill your retention. And that's why you want to do jump cuts for a sequence like that. So for example, in this case, I'm gonna start out with me like having the cup of coffee, walking up towards the coffee machine, putting it down, and then we're gonna cut right here. Then I'm gonna scrub forward, and we're gonna like take some around here where I'm opening the new package of coffee capsules, and then we're gonna do like go a couple of frames forward, and then we're gonna cut again to make sure that we have like some kind of quick pacing going on in this this jump cut sequence. So instead of like having the whole sequence playing out and like dragging out the whole scene a whole lot, I tried to like cut all the interesting part of me making a cup of coffee without having it feel like it takes up too much space in the video that I'm producing. So the final result is something like this. Hey! And the good thing about jump cuts is that you can have the camera at the same location and it's still gonna feel like something is actually happening in the shot, because you're jumping from different like areas in the frame or doing different things in the frame, and it's actually progressing the story within that like scene that you have. And that brings us into a third thing that I want to talk about in this video, and that is changing the location. I mean, it's a really good way to make your videos way more engaging, especially if you're making YouTube videos or any kind of like talking head videos, because if you have the same shot for a long period of time, then might feel a little bit like dragged out or a little bit static. It's also gonna feel like you put a little bit extra thought into your video when you were shooting it, because you actually went the extra mile to like change the location when you were shooting the video. The fun thing about it is that you don't have to like record everything that you want to say like right here, then move the camera back. Because when it comes to like the editing process, you can record everything that you want to say in this camera angle. And then when you're done with this camera angle, like everything that you want to say, that is when you move the camera and record like maybe a couple of things once again, just to have the same like words or same kind of like sentences in two different camera angles, so that you can easily interconnect the two different angles that you have in your video. And talking about changing the location, the fourth thing that we're going to talk about in this video is going to be environmental shots and trying to incorporate them into your videos. Something that I've started to do a whole lot in my vlogs and my videos is to incorporate more of Gothenburg, you know, to give you a feeling that you're actually present and with me on the like story that I'm about to tell you. It's a great thing when you're shooting any kind of like client video to always try to grab some environmental shots of where you are, what you're doing, what you're shooting. Maybe you're in a cafe, then you want to try to like grab some environmental shots of the cafe to give the atmosphere. Or maybe you're outside in the city, then you want to try to grab some environmental shots of the city, of the people walking down the street or cars passing by or something like that, to give the viewer of your video a feeling of how it is to be in the atmosphere that you want to share with your viewer. One of the prime examples of having environmental shots to help progress the story forward is going to be sitcoms, because if you think about like Friends, for example, they sit at their cafe and then they talk about stuff, and then all of a sudden you see this like helicopter shot of New York, and then they're back at their apartment, and then in that way be able to tell the story without having to show all the different steps that they had to do to get from the cafe back to the apartment. All right, number 5 is going to be B-roll, and I'm not talking about like the poker B-roll or the office B-roll, even though I do like those videos a whole lot. And just between you and me, I gotta say, there is coming another B-roll. But when I'm talking about B-roll, it's more like showing off the product or showing off the thing that you're actually talking about. And this is something that I've talked about a lot in my previous videos, but it is super easy to do. So say for example that you're talking about a camera lens. The only thing that you need to do is basically grab your camera and shoot yourself holding the lens. And when you're talking about the lens, then you can like incorporate that footage onto the timeline and then have that as the B-roll of the lens. And I mean, B-roll is great to use when you're shooting any kind of client videos. Say for example that you want to have a person running, they want to have details of the feet like touching the ground, you want to have details of the person's face or maybe the hands and stuff like that to help like interconnect between the different things that is happening in the video. And that will help you to tell your story in a more professional way than if you didn't have any B-roll in your video. So numero 6, va? This is not like something that you do in the editing process, but it's basically something that you film and think about for when you're editing, and that is like having characters in your video. When it comes to characters, a lot of people think that characters are people or characters are someone that is constantly coming back into your video, and that is true, but it doesn't have to be a person. I mean, like for example, one of the characters that I have in my videos is my office, because this is a place where you feel comfortable with watching and you know all the different things that you can see here in the background and stuff like that. And this is something that is especially important if you're doing YouTube videos, because you are going to be the main character, but you can also incorporate a whole lot of different characters into your videos to make your story more engaging or your video more engaging. I mean, this place is basically the unboxing place, and this is something that you know if you've seen a lot of my videos. And here is the coffee machine, which is also a character. We have the new unboxing knife, which is just an insane knife. And having those different characters in your videos will help you to make your videos more engaging, because then you can incorporate them in your videos when you know that, this is something my viewers will like. Because having those different characters in the video will make it more like intriguing and more fun to watch and more like engaging for the audience as well. And if there is persons, then that is going to be a bonus, because like people enjoy watching other people interact with each other. And numero 7 is adding the correct music to your videos. And something that I've noticed is that if I'm doing like a talking head video like this video, then my viewers, or you in this case, want to have something that is like a little bit laid back, a little bit chill, that can like stay there in the background while you're watching the video. And if I'm making like a B-roll sequence, then I want to make sure that the music is matching the scenes that I've shot for the video. And a really good example of this is the poker B-roll, because I think that the music of that video fits perfectly into the scenes that I shot. And the fun thing with that was that we didn't actually choose the music beforehand. We actually shot the video before we knew what kind of music we wanted to have. But the fun thing is that the music was setting the tone for the video. And if we listen to that music, it's actually kind of funny, because it has this like Western country feeling that I wanted to have in the video, incorporated into like the modern electronic style that is kind of popular on YouTube these days. So that music, when we found that, that was a perfect fit to like edit the music to the whole sequence. So using these kind of tips and tricks is something that definitely will make your videos more engaging, more professional, and it's gonna feel like you're actually putting a little bit more effort into your video than someone that isn't doing these kind of things. So I really hope that you enjoyed these kind of like tips and tricks, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, because that is highly appreciated. So thanks so much for that. And if you haven't subscribed as of right now, I would definitely appreciate that, because you know, it would be awesome to have you here, va? Så Peter från Sweden, eller Sverige som vi säger, Sverige, is saying goodbye. Have a good one.